Today, we're diving into 5 French lesbian films that don't just tell stories, they stir emotions, spark conversations, and leave you thinking long after the credits roll. Let's begin with number 5. Number 5, Blue is the Warmest Color, 2013, Abdellatif Kechiche. Now, this one is a cultural phenomenon. You probably already know it. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes and made waves worldwide. The story follows Adele, a teenager who falls in love with Emma, a confident, blue-haired art student. Their romance is messy, passionate, heartbreaking, and for many, it felt brutally real. What struck me when I first watched it was how unfiltered it felt. The intimacy, both emotional and physical, is portrayed with a rawness that shocked some and moved others. Of course, the film isn't without controversy. The director's methods and the treatment of the actresses sparked serious debates. But beyond that, there's no denying the impact. For a lot of viewers, it was their first exposure to a lesbian love story on such a grand, cinematic scale. It's imperfect, but that imperfection mirrors real love, intense, flawed, and transformative. Number 4, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, 2019, Céline Sciamma. If Blue was fire and chaos, this one is controlled artistry and quiet devastation. Sciamma paints love like a masterpiece, literally and metaphorically. The film follows Marianne, a painter, and Héloïse, a reluctant bride-to-be. Marianne is hired to secretly paint Héloïse's portrait before her arranged marriage. But in the process, the two women fall deeply in love. This film is all about gazes, silences, and the electric tension of forbidden desire. The absence of men for much of the movie lets us breathe fully in a world of women. Every glance between Marianne and Héloïse feels like it carries the weight of the universe. And the ending, don't get me started. It's devastating, but in the most achingly beautiful way. Personally, I felt like Sciamma captured the pure essence of longing. Not loud, not chaotic, but simmering, like a fire you don't even realize is consuming you until it's too late. If you're someone who loves slow burn romance, this is your film. Number 3, Summertime, La Belle Saison, 2015, Dear, Catherine Corsini. This one has a different flavor. Set in the 1970s, Summertime mixes politics, feminism, and personal liberation. Delphine, a farmer's daughter, moves to Paris and joins a feminist group where she meets Carol, an activist. Their relationship blooms passionately, but the real challenge comes when Delphine has to return to her conservative family in the countryside. What I love here is the clash of worlds, the freedom of Paris against the suffocating traditions of rural life. It's not just a love story, it's about the courage to live authentically, even when the cost is high. Corsini balances romance with the political landscape beautifully, showing how personal lives and political movements are always intertwined. Watching it, I couldn't help but think of how many people still face this exact struggle, choosing between family acceptance and personal happiness. It hits hard because it's still relevant. Number 2, Lost and Delirious, 2001, Léa Pool. Okay, technically this one is French-Canadian, but it's too important to leave out. Starring a young Piper Perabo, Jessica Perret, and Misha Barton, it's set in an all-girls boarding school. On the surface, it seems like a classic coming-of-age story, but it spirals into something far darker and more tragic. The relationship between Polly and Tori is central, intense, passionate, but ultimately heartbreaking. Tori fears rejection and conformity, while Polly embodies raw rebellion. When their love is discovered, the fallout is devastating. I'll be honest, this movie gutted me. It's messy and melodramatic, but it captures the suffocating weight of secrecy, shame, and unaccepted love. Some criticize it for being too tragic, and yes, queer audiences deserve happy endings too. But there's something unforgettable about its raw emotional intensity. It leaves you shaken in the way only young, desperate love can. Number 1, Je te mangerai, You Will Be Mine, 2009, Dear Sophie Laloy. At number 1, we have something darker, more psychological. This isn't a sweet romance. It's a thriller laced with obsession and manipulation. Marie moves in with her childhood friend Emma while studying piano. What begins as friendship morphs into a toxic, controlling relationship that blurs the line between love and domination. This film stands out because it dares to show the shadow side of intimacy. Not all relationships are healthy, and queer love stories deserve to explore those complexities too. The performances are haunting, The tension builds like a tightening string, and by the end, you're left both disturbed and fascinated. What I admire about Laloy's direction is how she captures vulnerability, the way loneliness and longing can pull us into destructive dynamics. It's not the typical romantic film, but it's powerful precisely because it's uncomfortable. And there you have it, the top 5 French lesbian films that showcase passion, longing, struggle, and even darkness. Each one tells a different side of queer love, sometimes liberating, sometimes heartbreaking, always unforgettable. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this list, hit that like button, subscribe for more film recommendations, and share your favorite French lesbian movies in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.